Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John Blundell, and I was diagnosed with vascular dementia last year, and I think this is my seventh video of how I'm doing. I blog a video every month just to let people know how I am and how things have been going. I've actually got my wife sitting next to me, so I thought it'd be probably a good idea for her to talk. Well, not the challenges she has with me, but how I've changed, how things have progressed over the years, and how it has progressed since I've had vascular dementia. First of all, again, can I thank everybody who has commented on my last video. You know, I mean, I've even joined another group of it's dementia caregivers, and it's basically nearly, well, more or less worldwide. And I've been speaking to people in Canada, in America, in New Zealand, in Austria, all over the place, and trying to pass on the bit of knowledge I have and how it affects me in my daily life. And some people have found it very, very, very helpful and very useful. So again, if anybody wishes, after they've seen this video, if you wish to share it with your family members or just share it on Facebook, please, you're more than welcome to do so. Like somebody said to me before, why do I keep doing it? I certainly don't do it to become well known. Me personally, I'm not bothered about that. It's just a message I want to get out there. You know, I mean, that vascular dementia, any dementia, is a horrendous disease, and basically it can strike anybody. You know, it's not just resigned to old people. You know, I mean, although quite a lot of old people do get it, but you can have young onset dementia, which I'm classed as because I was diagnosed before I was 60. Although I'll be 60. When am I 60?
Next Thursday.
Oh, Thursday, yeah. Next Thursday, yeah, Thursday coming. I'll be in a big 6-0, so I suppose I've got a bit of an excuse now for getting a bit forgetful. But things are affecting me since then. I know I've mentioned about my balance, and that can be horrendous. And forgive me if I have mentioned it, because I forget. But I do use my wife's mobility scooter most mornings when I take the dog out. I just find it easier than using a crutch, because of how I kept stumbling and falling from time to time. But again, or I use a wheelchair if I've got a scooter just to propel myself. But people says, oh, it must be horrible going off your legs and having your legs weak and that. I've got to say this, my legs are not weak. They're as strong as they always have been. It's just the signals from my brain doesn't work properly with my coordination and my balance. I don't get dizzy, I don't feel ill, it's not painful. It's just that sometimes my legs just don't seem to work properly the way I want them to work. You know, and anybody who's got dementia where it affects the balance would totally understand what I mean by that. It's as I say, it's painless, bar from the numbness and the pins and needles I'll get in my legs, either my left leg or my right leg. But I've got to say, today it ain't been too bad. And I went to my son's wedding over the weekend in Wales, stopped for a weekend in a lovely hall. It was an absolute beautiful weekend that just went so quick, and my balance was pretty good. You know what I mean? But I don't know, it's just one of them things. It just comes and goes, and you know, all the moaning and the groaning in the world won't improve it. But I'll just take it as it is and take it day by day. I have said that sometimes, like, I do memory tests with myself, which is quite useful for people with early onset dementia, or, you know, who are still reasonably, can I say reasonably okay. Is that excuse me, before I go to bed at night, I try to think of all the people I know, family, friends, you know, neighbours, whoever, and I try to picture their faces and put a name to them. And and I do that every single morning as soon as I wake up, and I do it every night when I go to bed. I do it for about 5-10 minutes, but I have noticed that sometimes I'm putting picture in the faces, and for the life of me I can't remember who the names are, you know, and that seems to be coming a little bit stronger, you know what I mean. So I mean, I know I'm changing. I did say something to somebody else. Dementia, it just isn't about your memory slipping or you misplacing things and forget them. I'm doing that more and more. I'm putting things down and I can't find them. And then I mentioned it to Jan. I says, John, you're staring right at it. And that seems to be happening quite a lot. And that's a bit weird. It feels weird, really, looking at things and then right in front of you, but it's not registering your brain. That's what you're looking for. And I know that might sound absolutely ridiculous, but only people with dementia like I've got can understand it. And my mate Brian, apparently we've talked about it and he goes through exactly the same. So it's a bit of a relief knowing it ain't just me, and it excuse the pun, it's just not in my head, that it is an actual reality, staring at things, looking at them, then right in front of you, but just don't recognise in your brain. That's part and parcel of I suppose, of having this darn dementia. You know, people have been saying to me, oh, carry on doing your videos, because at one point I felt like stopping it all, and I thought, why should I bother? Why should I bother helping anybody when I'm like this? And I think it was probably last week, I think, I had a really bad day, and my balance was getting worse, and every time I stood up, I was just tumbling, and it just got to me. And I said to my wife, I says, you know what, I says I could just scream and shout and cry my eyes up, and I think it's frustration. And I thought, blow it, I ain't doing no more. I've helped a lot of people in my life with what I do, and I thought, blow it, I don't care about nobody else now. I'm just going to look after me and my wife, just us, and everyone else can go and do one. And then thankfully we had a good talk, and I says, no, I'm not a selfish person. I says, you've got this for some reason, and you was determined to help each other. So I'm back on the straight and narrow, shall we say. And I am still done our video a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, at Black Country Radio with a wonderful bloke, Billy Spokeman, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I explained to him that I was having a few bad days. Well, bad days, wasn't it, John? You know, but as I say, you know, like joining this group, the dementia caregivers, it's basically a group of carers who can unload, you know, say how hard they're finding it with the loved ones, and no matter what they do, they can't do right for doing wrong. And then you have all the caregivers on there saying, oh, have you thought about doing it like this, or have you thought about doing it like that? And some of the hundreds of comments I've read, I'll tell you something, it really, really saddens me, because anybody, can I say, with more or less full-blown dementia, it's got to be near on impossible trying to look after them at home. You know, because of the needs and the lack of sleep, and how they don't want to wash or go to the toilet, or refuse to eat or refuse to drink. And it don't matter what type of person you have, there's got to come a time sooner or later that could just break you, you know, and I can totally understand that, you know what I mean. I just thank God that I'm not at that stage, and you know, well, as we says, we ain't got a crystal ball, who knows the future, you know what I mean. But I have noticed quite a few changes in myself, you know, and like oh, that's it, I was saying, like, dementia isn't just about losing your memory or forgetting your loved ones. It's like a personality change. You're slowly changing from the person you was before into a different person, you know. And some people have said to me, well, JB, John, you seem okay. You seem more or less the same person I knew years ago. But as I say, them people, sorry, they don't see you day in, day out, say, like my wife does, you know, more or less 24/7. And obviously they haven't seen you for years. I saw somebody, it was at a car boot a couple of Sundays ago. Our Anne-Marie was there doing it with her dad. And me and Jan just went up to pay him a visit, and there was some couple she was talking to, and at first I did not have a Scooby-Doo clue who they was, did I?
No.
And then I said her name, and I was looking at them, and then all of a sudden it just come back in my head, Sue, and then I remember saying, I know your husband's name. It's Rob, and shook his hand. And to be honest, you would have thought I'd won a marathon, because I felt that happy. I felt that overjoyed that it finally come to me. You know what I mean? And that's what does happen to me. Sometimes I just totally can't remember who they are. You know what I mean? But 9 times out of 10, if I'm left alone and they leave me alone and don't force it on me, it does usually come back to me. And as again, it's just one of them things. There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing the doctors can do about it. I mean, I've actually had a friend of mine, which, bless them, I understand. They see these things on Facebook and on what do you call it?
TikTok?
No,
Instagram?
news, like,
Oh.
you know, well, I forgot the word they call it, forgive me. And I was so pleased when they sent it to me, and it was basically some bloke talking about, oh, if you take this vitamin, he had a white coat on a blue, so making himself look a doctor. If you take this special herb vitamin, it won't just slow your dementia down, it will reverse it. And I thought, what a crock of rubbish, you know what I mean? And I didn't say that to her. I just said, thank you for sending it, mate. I really do appreciate it, but it's a scam. I says, because if there was something really out there now that would slow dementia right down or get rid of it, don't you think the NHS and the top doctors and the specialists would be prescribing it? You know what I mean? Even if it was eating a carrot dunked in horse manure, if you knew it was going to help you, you'd eat it, wouldn't you? Well, I certainly would. You know what I mean? I'd do anything to get rid of this darn thing. I said to Jan, I says I'd willingly give both my legs, and if I ended up on a wheelchair all my life, if I could get rid of this dementia, I'd do that in a blink of an eye. But, you know, it saddens me to think that these people and companies and other things out there, that they take advantage of people with dementia, because they know how desperate people are and how desperate the loved ones are to have that miracle, magical cure. But I'm telling you now, there's nothing out there. These tablets to slow down various dementias, yeah, but there's nothing there to reverse it or certainly get rid of it. At the moment, it's an impossibility. In the future, yes, I'm confident in years to come that they will be able to find some miracle cure out there that could help people, you know. But the brain's a very complex thing, and although we've progressed so far into the future with mapping the brain, they still don't know everything, how it works completely, you know, but one day, hopefully, they will, and then that will be the day, God willing, they'll be able to find a cure. But I don't think, well, I know I'm not going to see any benefit in it, but maybe my kids, or definitely my grandchildren will, so that'll be a blessing when that does come. But yeah, again, I'm doing all right, you know. I just keep taking day by day. I get uptight with things, obviously, and I do lose my temper. And I know Jan has to put up a lot with me, because sometimes I can get a bit argumentative, and sometimes they'll say something and I swear blind it's not right, that this was right. And I've known now that she instead of saying, no, you're wrong, John, it just agrees with me now, basically, for a quiet life. You know, and I don't do it on purpose, because you know how you can have a discussion or something and you say, oh, this happened last week. No, it didn't. It was a week before. No, it wasn't. It was no, it wasn't. It was a fortnight before. It doesn't matter, does it? Because we ain't scoring points. And as Janet says, it's easier when things like that, easier for her to agree with me, because it does start winding me up and getting me uptight, you know. But not that I do it deliberately and say things and they'll just agree with me just for the sake of it. Right, that's soft, haven't you, John?
No.
You know what I mean? But yeah, but any difference since the last video? Yeah, yes and no, but you know the trouble is, I forget. And that is one of the worst things. That I seem to be forgetting things even more. And I've noticed, like, names with people, even people at my church who I've known for years. and I see regular, but sometimes I talk, hello, John, I look at them and I think, God, what's the name's now? And that part I hate, you know what I mean? But thank God, they all know me, they all know what I've got, and they're all fantastic, beautiful people. And if I if I can't get the name, they'll just tell me the name. I'll say, yeah, I would have got that. I would have got that in a bit, you know what I mean? But we don't make a
song and dance.
That's it, the word, song and dance about it. But you know, I think I said this to me sister at the wedding, at our son's wedding over the weekend, that it's a horrible feeling knowing you've got something, right, and knowing in your head it's changing you, and you are changing, but you can't do darn about it, and that's the most, if that's the right word, it's the most aggravating part, you know, knowing that you're slowly dipping and changing, but there's nothing you can do about it, and yeah, you know, sorry for repeating myself, but that is the part that does get to me sometimes, you know, and then you just have to snap yourself out of it. You know, I've said this many times, I could sit down feeling sorry for myself and crying my eyes up. Well, I have done sometimes, when it's really got to me, and I just feel as if I can't take it anymore. And Jan reminds me of the people I'm helping through doing my videos and on the radio once a month on Black Country Radio and blah blah blah. And I said, just think of all the wonderful comments you've had. People private message me saying, you know, the advice you gave me was fantastic. Oh, God bless you for sharing your personal story. So, and then I suppose it does boost you up in a little bit, knowing that you are making a difference in people's lives, and that's all I want to do for as long as I can anyway, you know what I mean. I suppose the time will come, like I've said, where I might not be able to continue to do these videos, and maybe the good wife here will continue to let people know how I'm doing. It shoves me in an home, never to return again. You know, I'll be past my sell-by date. But, yeah, no. And people have said, and if I have said this before, please don't think I'm just repeating it every month, because I do forget. Obviously, I look at my videos from time to time, and then I can't remember what I said in my last one. I can only remember what I'm saying here and now. But, oh, God, I forgot. What was I on about? I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh, God. Sorry. Oh, dear. Damn. It's all right, my brain's just gone a blank. Anyway, forget that bit. I'm going to pass you over to my wife, and she'll be able to just, you know, maybe share some tips, I don't know, or just talk about the problems she's having. Well, not so much she's having, I should say we're having, you know what I mean, and how it affects Jan as my carer, because we am both each other's carers, because as we says, I'm at the I'm a balance say that good. I'm her arms and legs, and she has to be my head, God bless her. But I'm going to turn the camera around and pass you on to her, and she can tell you all the beautiful things about me and what a wonderful, loving, loving, caring husband I am, or what a moaning prick I am sometimes. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Sorry, forgive me. Moaning person, I meant to say. Well, I'm going to turn it on to Jan so you can see her.
Hello everybody, I'm Jan Blundell, John's wife. Don't really know what to say on here because I'm not usually one in front of the camera. But yeah, John has got worse over the last 12 months. Since diagnosis really. He seems to have got worse since he found out he got vascular dementia. Yes, he has his ups and downs, and when he has downs, they are downs. And it's hard to pull him back out of that, because obviously I don't know what's going on in his head. I can only presume what's going on in his head. But I don't have a go at him. I don't shout at him, because he can't help it. You know, he does forget things. He does repeat himself a lot. Sometimes I could scream in my head, but I'm not going to do it out loud and not while he's with me, because it's not his fault. But over the last few months, his balance has got really bad. He doesn't want a mobility scooter, but he uses mine. So in the long run, we will be getting him one. Under his doesn't want to get it, but he will need it. He tries the wheelchair, but he has got arthritis in his hands, and it does hurt his hands. But he doesn't want to give up. He doesn't want a walker with the wheels, which fair enough. But if your balance goes and it stops you falling over, but Johnny's very stubborn that way, and it took a long time for him to have a crutch to help him stop him falling over. I decorated it up nice and sparkly for him, like my own crutches, which he gets lots of comments and lots of people speak to him because of the colourful crutches, and they sparkle. So, and he likes to speak to people. It's better than people ignoring him, which there are a few out there, which I won't name, but you know, they're not friends, are they? So, but we have got very good friends, very close friends that help me personally to get through things, and family. You know, I don't think I could do it if I hadn't got them, you know. But yes, and some days John will come into my bedroom, because we don't sleep together because he jumps a lot at night. And he'll come into my bedroom in the morning and he'll go, "Oh, he's just coming to see if you were still, you know, still alive, but it can be about 8:30. And I'm thinking, oh, I'm really tired. I do get tired. But that is just one of those things. But we care for each other. My legs are not good, so John's my legs and I'm his head. So when he gets all kerfuddled, I do have to step in. Sometimes he'll shout at me and say, "Well, I know what I was going to say." Yes, you probably did, but I try to help him through it at the same time. But for a carer, it is hard work, and sometimes you do need that time out, and don't feel guilty about having that time out, otherwise you lose your sanity. So if you have got a good friend where you can go and have a coffee with, which I've got a very good friend, Leslie Rigby, and if it wasn't for her, I think I would lose my sanity. And Anne-Marie Albert, I should say. that's my grandson, not Goodall. Yeah, and my son, Jack Fleet, who's just got married, which I'm really overjoyed with. But yeah, if it wasn't for all those people that helped both of us, I don't think we'd know where we were. But they're very, very close friends and family. And there's a few more family, which I haven't said because there could be a big list. But yeah, I'll pass you back over to John now, and he can finish up on what I've been saying. But that's only a little bit of my point of view. Other carers might have point of views as well. But always have time for yourself, because you're special as well as the person that's going through it. And if you crumble, what are they going to do? So you got to keep going and keep talking to people about how you feel, because you have to offload as well. So on that note, I'll pass you over to the big man.
Yeah, I noticed I was saying big man, and then I looked at me belly. That's something else of the weight I've put on. God, ridiculous. I've put on over 2.5 stone. I've never been so heavy in my life. 15, I think I'm 15 stone 7. It's 15.5 stone now. But I'm overjoyed that I've redecorated my shed. I've repainted it, and I'm getting all my gym stuff back in there, and I'm going to start training again. I mean, I did try out my, treadmill, but obviously I can't run. I hold on to both the handles, I have it up so much speed, and I just, brisk walking for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to get it up to doing with my cross trainer and my spin bike with our Anne-Marie as well, because she wants to get a bit fitter. And I says, well, we'll do it together. And I know once I get my mind back into that gym mode, I know I'll be able to get a bit fitter and drop drop a bit of weight, because and says I did seem to change. It's almost like once you're diagnosed, and I even wondered if it's my own brain. Oh, I've got this now. You know what I mean? Oh, I've got that. It's like if, say, I don't know, you pulled a muscle in your arm or something, and then you went to the doctors and you thought your arm was all right, and then it's only a muscle I pulled, and then they say something else. Oh, it's this, it's that. And then would your own mind start creating, thinking, oh yeah, I can feel that pain now. You know what I mean? Because the mind's a fascinating thing. Not saying that I deliberately put it on. I mean, my mate's the same. So he got diagnosed, he got worse. But when I did ask the OTs about it, they said you find out, unfortunately, it's just a coincidence. And that can unfortunately happen, because I know my balance, especially on my left side, that's played up even when I was going to the gym regular, a few years back. And obviously I took no notice. I thought, it's probably just I've overtrained and I've done too much. And I think I have said with my memory, I used to think, it's just me, because I'm idle memory, and I rely on Jan that much to remind me of things. Maybe that's what it is, but obviously it wasn't. But yeah, thank you, Jan, for saying them few wonderful things about me and praising me up tremendously.
Next time.
But it's right. It is right what she says. She does have to have time out, because one thing I have done, I have got more clingy to her, and I don't like her being away from me, to be honest. And I mean, I went on holiday with her last month, I think it was. But I had our Anne-Marie and the baby stay with me, so that was good. But I decided to pay for our Anne-Marie to go to Spain to her sister's. Is it the end of this month, or the beginning of next month? And I think I've said it before. I don't know, so forgive me. And then I was so chuffed because I paid for them, and then I thought, God, mate, hang on a minute, who's going to look after me? And then our baby, bless it, he's going to stay. But a very good friend of ours, well as like our big sister Lynn, when I saw me at church on the coffee morning, I bought me birthday card, and I was mentioning, and I said, well, yeah, but I didn't want nobody to put themselves out for me, you know what I mean? And then I went and sat down and spoke to Jen. I come back up and said, right, you've got me for the whole week. I'm coming to look after you when Jan goes away. So, which I am relieved and blessed for offering to do that. You know what I mean? I'll probably feel like strangling me at the end of the week, but still, you know what I mean? Oh no, we're family. We get on great. So I just hope I ain't too what's the word? Too hard to look after, because as I say, I do have my moments, but I'm sure we'll be great. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a good laugh anyway. So I'm looking forward to that. And Jan's got a peace of mind as well, knowing that she's going to be here. Plus I've got Leslie and our good friend next door, Irene. So I know if I ever get to a stage where we need help, these people we can reach out to, and family as well, of course, because I have got a wonderful family. Although sometimes you think, and I've got to say, even with my family, sometimes in my head I think they don't understand what it's like. They don't understand how it makes me feel. You know what I mean? I don't like being treated like a kid, where sometimes it can be, like you're being told. Even my grandson tells me what to do now. I mean, when I went to my son's wedding for the weekend, it was a free bar. I thought, typical, I hardly drink. But, I was allowed 3 points. I think I had 3 points of cider on the Friday. And on the Saturday, I think I had 2 points and a 0 Guinness. You know what I mean? But I knew they was watching me. And I knew they was counting, because our Anne-Marie says on the Friday. Was it Anne-Marie? Yeah, she did say it, and I think our baby did. Well, that's it now, because you've had your 3 points. I thought, flipping heck, you know what I mean? Counting what I have and watching what I do. But I know, all said and done, I ain't moaning about that's just people who care for you, looking out for you, So, yeah, but yeah, as Jan said, being a carer and that, it ain't easy. And these people who are really bad with the dementia, where they don't know their loved ones and I can't stand that, but why they don't want to wash. I mean, as far as I know, my dad, he used to have carers come in to help shower him and all that, because apparently it was a bit too much for his wife to do at the time. But as far as I know, he never moaned about it, and I think he could dress himself, couldn't he? Yeah, Dad could dress himself. The only thing Janice said to me about me dressing is, which I never used to do, and I know this, because I was very spotless in my war. Sometimes I could change myself twice a day, but sometimes I know it says to me, I'll come down and I'll say, John, you've had that top on 2 days now, or 3 days, or don't you think you should put on for washing and that? And I've never been like that, and sometimes she has to remind me, but I don't have to remind me to have a shower, not at the moment anyway, thank God. But we're having our shower done, or having a wet room in or something, because Jan's struggling. And like the one time I tried stepping over the shower step and I fell forward, lost my balance. Luckily I grabbed onto the rails, otherwise I would have head scutted the flipping wall. And obviously I've got to be careful, not, well, as I says, not to bang my head, because a serious bang on my head or anything like that could flipping could see me off, I suppose. Well, yeah, it could, because they've told me it could. But yeah, anyway, I think that's everything up to you. I wanted to cover. I am going to ask Jan to come on every month. So as I said, well, she can unload and she can talk about how it affects her, because I say this and I've always said it and I'll continue to say it. Yeah, it's horrible for the person who is suffering the dementia, but it's not like having, say, and I don't want to take this away from anybody, like having like a terminal illness, although that's horrendous, because my mate's got the same, Mark, terminal cancer. But like as he says, yeah, but if mine suddenly explodes, he says, I'm going to dwindle away. He says, and hopefully I'll still know my loved ones. He said, but if your dementia gets a grip of you, he says, sadly, all your loved ones you ain't going to know. He says, and that must be heartbreaking for people with dementia. Sorry, for people who've got dementia, for the loved ones and the carers. To see a person who they once loved and was happy, great to be with, and a wonderful person, to suddenly change, sometimes to moaning or getting aggressive, which I know a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people who have frontal lobe dementia can get aggressive, because that's the part that controls their emotions and various things. Like I've said before, my part I've got it at the top of my head, I don't know where, I've got a blockage there. But my mate, what is in my cerebellum, which controls your balance and your coordination. But I have noticed sometimes if I'm going to pick something up, it's like I'm going like that, I'm missing it. So whether it's because of that, well, it must be, But thank God that don't happen all the time. But yeah, I'll come back to you in a month's time, God willing. Please, as I said, please feel free to share this video. And as long as it helps somebody out there, and with what Jan has just said from her point of view, if it can be of any help. And
can we just say we've got a site now on Facebook called John Blundell's Dementia Journey, if they want to join it.
Oh, okay. Can you say it? I've totally forgot what you told me.
Can I just say, on Facebook now, we've got actually a page set up for John Blundell's Dementia Journey. Me and my son have set it up. There's not loads on there yet, but these videos will be going on there, because I'm trying to set it up so people don't have to go onto his private page, obviously, because he will come vulnerable on his private page.
People have tried,
You know, and people have tried to, you know, to get on there and scam him and things like that.
take
So,
advantage.
but I do vet everything. So, because obviously he doesn't see some things coming. So, but if you go onto there, I'm admin on it, so I can add you to it, and then you can see his journey on there and some of the charity things we're doing as well with dementia. We've got one in Stourbridge on the 13th.
Stourport.
Oh, Stourport, sorry.
Yeah, I got that right.
Yep, Stourport on the 13th. I think it's the 13th of August. Let me just check. Yes, it's the 13th of August, and it is already on that page, the address of it, and it's a little fishing pool. But the money, most of the money, because we have to pay for the site, most of the money will go to our dementia club to help with the cost of things, and maybe take them out for a day or something like that, you know, just to help make memories with their family. So anyway, I'll pass you back over to you now.
Flipping heck, I don't know how you could have expected me to say all that. Jesus, I would have forgot even if I had it written down. Yeah, so yeah, Jan has set up a page as well, and he'll be able to keep everybody informed, like, you know, and my videos will go on there, because it's right what she said, because people have been adding me onto Facebook, and there was a few that tried, and when I showed Janet, I says, I'm trying to scam you. He says, look, you're vulnerable, you got to be careful. And sadly, there's people out there either that would take advantage of somebody like me, or somebody with dementia, because you seem to trust everybody, you know what I mean? And I forget that there's scammers out there myself, so that's why she, anything like that, or if anybody wants to befriend me on Facebook, I always show Jan first, to make sure it's right and above board. So, okay then, people, I'm not going to bore you anymore. All right, God bless you all, and thank you all for the people who's supported me and continue to watch my video, and saying that we do make a difference in talking about this personal journey of mine. So God bless you, and I'll speak to you all soon. Okay, God bless. Bye.
Bye.